This morning, Governor Udomi Emmanuel sends 22 nominees to House of Confirmation as members of his cabinet. State government to give healthcare delivery priority in its programs. Plus, governors of 36 states meet in Abuja to consider proposal for President Buhari's intervention in payment of backlog of salaries. Details of these and other stories. Good morning and welcome to KBC 45 News. I am Miriam Ekbutu. 22 persons have been nominated by the Governor, Mr. Udomi Emmanuel, for positions in the new Executive Council and sent to the House of Assembly for confirmation. Of the 22, 20 are for the position of Commissioner, while 2 will be special advisors. A letter from the state government read on the floor of the House of Assembly by the clerk, Mrs. Mandu Moren, listed Barrister Wemedi Monwoko, Mr. Kanokun, Dr. Matthew Nathan Ekaite, Mr. Ephraim Iyayen, and Mr. Godwin Ntode for commissioners. Other listed include Elder Niekan Simon Akan, Dr. Dominic Upong, Mr. Uwemi Taituk, Mr. Nobonwa, and Dr. Inyebong Enoisien. Also for commissioner position are Mr. Niekan Umana, Mr. Victor Etem, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, Barrister Ekong Samson, and Dr. Emmanuel Ating Owodwaki. The rest are Dr. Elizabeth Daniel Abud, Otuekong Emmanuel Ibiok, Dr. Gloria Edet, Mr. Mande Bong Uko, and Engineer Tido Heyang. The 2 nominees for special advisors are Mr. Eyin Naikbenyong and Dr. Nietia Sunday Etuk. The Speaker, Mr. Niekanoko, referred the nominees to the House Committee on Judiciary, Justice, Public Petitions and Human Rights for screening. Meanwhile, 2 committees were yesterday inaugurated in the House. They are the Committee on Judiciary, Justice, Public Petition and Human Rights, chaired by Barrister Onofiok Luke, and Committee on Rules, Business and Ethics, with Mr. Niekfiok Dennis Akpan as chairman. Also yesterday, motion sponsored by Barrister Onofiok Luke urging the state governor to direct the removal of all forms of advertisements from the premises of public educational institutions, giving corporate entities and business concerns operating in Akwa Ibom to invest in the infrastructural development of such institutions has been passed. The Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, has assured the people that healthcare delivery will be given priority by the present administration. He gave the assurance in Okanafon local government area when he flagged off a free medical services organized by the Pro Health International and the Annam Foundation Houston chapter, United States of America. Patience John has more.
The Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, on arrival was conducted around the health center at the Korokpanko, headquarters of Okanafon local government area, which is the venue of the free health services, area which he visited where the administrative, pharmacy, laboratory and theater blocks. Mr. Moses Ekpo thanked the partners for their collaboration to bring support to the people of the area, adding that the state government was ready to work with individuals, groups and organizations with such a gesture to address the health needs of the people. The Deputy Governor, who is also the founding member of Pro Health International, commended members for holding the vision of the group and urged them to keep the flag flying.
But let me reassure all of you that the government of Udomi Emmanuel in this state will not fail to take any little opportunity that is offered to provide good health for the people of Akwa Ibom State.
The head of the Pro Health International, Dr. Banga, said they had rendered similar services in other parts of the state since the inception of the body. He mentioned Engineer T.D. Young and Barrister Emmanuel Noidem as principal sponsors, using their foundations, Samakun Foundation and Moses Noidem Foundation as platforms.
His Excellency the Deputy Governor has been very interested in the health of Akwa Ibom people, and it's not here by accident. So we thank God for the new government of Akwa Ibom that is demonstrating practically the interest and the desire that all of us are healthy.
On why they have decided to the international for the free medical services, Engineer Young and Barrister Noidem said it is to enhance the lifespan of the people having been touched by their plights. They expressed the hope Governor Domi Manuel would pay attention to delivery in the states.
And what is happening here is quite exciting, quite heartwarming. And we are happy that they are joining hands, the government of Akwa Ibom State, to ensure that health care delivery is taken to the grassroots.
So I have the foundation called Sam Akon Foundation, and last year we solely sponsored the Pro Health, to come in, partner with us for the delivery of health care in Ikore.
The chairman of Okanafo local government, Star Dokang, commended the free medical team and other sponsors for having the welfare of the people of Okanafo at heart. The Pro Health International presented an award to the Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, and Engineer T.D. Young for their contributions to the advancement of activities of the group. The Deputy Governor also stopped over at the Grace Hospital in the Atumepo local government area, which houses the Moses Noidem Foundation, where free health services are rendered to the people of the area.
Four principal officers of the State House of Assembly were yesterday inaugurated. They are Mr. Udo Kirian Akpan, representing Uronam State Constituency as House Leader, Mr. Emmanuel Ekpenyong, representing the State Constituency as Chief Whip, Barrister Nofio Dennis Akpan, representing the Lieutenant State Constituency as Deputy Leader, and Otuekong Sesian, representing the Ona State Constituency as Deputy Chief Whip. Addressing the House as the Speaker, Mr. Nyekanuku said the four were elected in recognition of their experiences, pointing out that they were, by these offices, members of the Selection Committee of the House. The Acting Director General of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, Mrs. Elsie Odofia, has said that the corporation will continue to promote and protect the interests of children through children-friendly programs on the radios and television stations. Mrs. Odofia made the remark on yesterday as a lecture organized by the United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, UNICEF, Enugu Field Office, as part of activities to mark the 2015 Day of African Child in Odo headquarters of Insertai local government area. The story is here presented.
Programs, Mr. James Edek, Mrs. Udofia said AKBC will remain committed to collaborating with stakeholders to end child marriage and other forms of abuses against the children, especially the girl child. She said that no amount of investment will be too much in ensuring that children have access to quality education and good health for their development.
On the part of the AKBC, the DG will also want us to know that AKBC will continue to bring out programs that cater for the welfare of our children. We have many such programs on our radio station as well as our television station. Madam will want every of the children here, and in fact every child in Akwa Ibom State, to make effective use of the free and compulsory education policy of the Akwa Ibom State government. So that
the chairman on the occasion and general manager of Akwa Ibom Rural Water and Sanitation Agency, Elder Ifyong Esien, who spoke on the theme of the celebration, accelerating our collective efforts to end child marriage in Africa, said that the focus of the 2015 Day of African Child was a timely call to stop a practice that devastated the lives of millions of girls across the continent. According to him, child marriage limits economic opportunities of girls and exposes them to physical, social, and emotional violence. While calling on parents to produce children they can take care of, Elder Essien solicited a collective effort from stakeholders, especially families, communities, and religious leaders, to ensure that the rights of children are respected.
So maybe
in her presentation, a woman activist and human rights lawyer, Barrister Millicent Edidion, identified poverty, traditional laws, family ties, and insecurity as some reasons parents give out their children in marriage at a tender age. She said child brides face higher risk of death and injury during pregnancy, with girls under 18 more likely to die during childbirth.
Or when you urinate, your urine will touch your hand. Am I correct? Yes. And some people do not even care to wash their hands. All they do is that if they see fruit here, they will take that hand after going to the toilet and they will use that same hand. So at
the event, the children were also taught on proper ways of hand washing, with prizes given to those who performed well in art competition. There was also carnival floats by the children as a way of raising public awareness on the Day of African Child, which commemorates the 1976 massacre of hundreds of children who were protesting for their basic right to a decent education in Soweto, South Africa.
More news after the break. Do stay with us. So good to have you back. The graduation ceremony of medical doctors of the University of Uyo will hold today, Thursday, June 18, 2015. According to a statement signed by the Registrar, University of Uyo, Mrs. Ada Mondak, the ceremony will take place at the School Entrepreneurial Studies Center of the Annex campus by 9 o'clock in the morning. The statement invites members of the university community, parents, guardians, stakeholders in the medical and allied professionals, as well as members of the public to this ceremony. The 16th annual Species and Prize Living Day of the Federal Government Girls College, Ikorobiton, has ended at the college compound in Baini local government area. The event had as its theme the girl-child education at all for our children, cohesion and national development. Florence Omoituk filed the story right in our studios.
The Chief Host and Director, Basic and Secondary Education, Federal Ministry of Education, Abuja, Barrister Dennis Chike Uwazueke, represented by Mrs. Amaka Okafor, described the award ceremony as the fulfillment of the vision of the founding fathers of the Federal Unity College. He said that the introduction of entrepreneurial subjects into the school's curriculum was a step in the right direction as it the way for the acquisition of skills for the global business and trade needs. Barrister Azweke commended one of the school's budding scientist and inventor, Ms. Udo, and SS2 students and other students nominated to represent the country at the UNESCO Choral Competition in Togo, urging them to be dedicated to the development of their talents. The Director, Basic and Education, while commending the school's principal Mrs. Emma Obut, and others for building up the and infrastructure, counseled the outgoing students to be cautious in forming relationships and wise in the use of time. The school, Mrs. Emma Obut, established in 1989, has produced top-flight career women and excellent wives, and congratulations students comprising of 165 students who have done credibly in academics and extracurricular activities. Mrs. Obot commended people and staff of the college who have contributed to the rising image of the school, especially during the 2015 inter-house sports competition, adjudged the best in the annals of the FUCs in the country. Mrs. Obot reeled out other triumphs of the school to include its nomination as Nigeria's representative to the forthcoming August 2015 choral competition, coming second place in the NAFDAC quiz competition by Ms. Abaseme Anie, overall best in junior mathematics, informatics, and computer, among others.
Federal Government College Ikorobiton has produced and graduated virtuous women, many of whom are captains in their chosen careers.
In a lecture titled The Girl-Child Education, a Tool for Cohesion and National Development, the guest speaker, Professor Enoba Siurua, described education as a gateway to opportunities to human and material resources to improve life and national development.
We look at national development, which is the ability of a nation to harness her resources, both human, material, and whatever.
Earlier in an open address, the chairman on the occasion and regional head of the UBA PLC, Mr. Magnus Chukwekezie, had commended the management for a job well done.
To some of our viewers, please do be with us. The State Police Command has paraded some suspects for crimes ranging from murder, child theft, and trafficking, and involvement in secret cult activities. The suspects were paraded at the State Police Headquarters in Koropwanabia, Uyo. Livingstone Daniel has more.
First to be paraded by ACP Michael Coley was a 19-year-old boy, Daniel Michael Edet, who hailed from Idoro in Uyo local government area, and a student of Udragabon Comprehensive High School, Ibianibon. According to the police, Daniel Edet was living with his auntie, Gloria Edet Ebere, until 11th of June 2015, when he left the house to unknown destination. When he returned home after many months, Daniel was said to have requested for cash from his auntie, who refused. The situation that angered Daniel, who allegedly strangled her to death and hid the corpse in the room for days. Luck, however, ran out of Daniel and his friends when they invited an ambulance to evacuate the corpse. This caught the attention of neighbors, who invited the police, where Daniel and his friends were arrested. Upon interrogation by AKBC 45 News, Daniel Edet accepted committing the crime, but attributed it to greed. A 71-year-old man, Ita Daniel, from Dokboro in Nsadibum local government area, was paraded for allegedly killing his 60-year-old wife, Alice Ita Daniel. He was said to have committed the crime while the wife was asleep. Ita Daniel, on interrogation, accused his wife of infidelity, but regretted his action. A case of a 26-year-old Akban Okonefion in Ibezikbo Sultan local government area was that of self-confessed cultists who later led the police to their hideout, where in Thika, Etmedet and Moses Ime were arrested. The police also recovered 4 locally made revolvers. 26-year-old Evelyn Collins Akban from Esedeket was also paraded for allegedly deceiving one Esther Friday Okun to collect her 11-month-old baby and sold to one Grace Estate based in Port Harcourt, Rivers State for 250,000 naira. The AC State CID Michael Coley said the police has concluded investigations and that the suspect will soon appear in court. He appealed to the public to join the fight against crime by giving necessary information to the police.
So members of the press, as I always said, you will help us to sensitize the good people of Akwa Ibom State, especially in these cases of child trafficking and murder. We are well equipped to fight crime in Akwa Ibom State, to ensure that the good people of Akwa Ibom State and this go home and be rest assured that there is security.
Livingstone Daniel reporting.
Occasioned by the need to help ease traffic congestion in major intersections in Uyo, a non-governmental organization, the Akwa Ibom Autonomous Initiative has been deploying volunteer traffic controllers citywide. Traffic at intersections, which include Waniba Road by Ekri Sukara Junction, Waniba by Oron Road Roundabout, Waniba by Orange Street Junction, and Odotumubo by Oron Road, at the points where traffic lights are not functioning, were directed by the volunteers. In a chat with AKBC 45 News, the national president of the organization, Okai Udeme Emmanuel, who personally led the traffic intervention effort, said the group has trained more than 300 youths in traffic control techniques. Okai Udeme Emmanuel said they used the opportunity to ask Akwa Ibom indigents and residents of the state on civic engagement.
Akwa Ibom, Uyo Metropolis being the state capital, we have easy flow of traffic.
Some motorists in Uyo and operators of tricycle known as Keke said the group's efforts have enabled free flow of traffic and called for restoration of malfunction traffic lights at major intersections.
New government, a new change, and we are happy about it.
Some members of Ibom Golf Club were among the winners at the just concluded Starwood Preferred Guest SPG Golf Invitational at the Ibom Golf Course in Akwa Ibom State. Playing against top golfers from various parts of the world in the second edition of the tournament, the winners carried home prizes as well as trophies. One of such winners was Kalio Isiboy, who was the overall winner with a gross of 162 and nearly a week's stay in Mauritius. Sports reporter Justice Odosoro has the rest of the story.
Others who got the opportunity of relaxing in any of the Starwood hotels around the world were Category A winner Raphael Adewale, 151 net, Edidion Idion of Category B with 149 net, and Anka Sani 156 net to lead Category C. Veterans category winner with 169 net was Alex Cheyenne, and women perennial winner Susan Kokotas with 162 net. Ibom Golf Club Uko Udom was the nearest to the pin in Sunday play, with Bill Amechi nearest to the pin in the Saturday game. Presenting prizes to the winners, the General Manager of Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort, Mr. Mark Devroy, expressed satisfaction at the level of participation by Starwood guests, saying the outfit is always pleased to reward loyal guests with its array of incentives, describing Ibom Golf Club as a colossus in the country.
The Starwood Hotels, generally speaking, our airline partner Emirates Airlines, Westar Associates with a Jeep. They were lucky the Jeep didn't go, so it will come back next time. Please come back as well next time. Then Diamond Bank, Julius Berger, Hawk Robinson.
In an interview, the Regional Director of Marketing in Africa and Indian Ocean of Starwood Hotels Resorts, Martina Butcher, said the SPG Golf Invitational is part of the resort's efforts at promoting the game of golf in Nigeria, describing the Ibom Golf Course as top class, capable of competing with any other top-class golf facility in the world.
Well, obviously, yes. The interest actually this year was overwhelming. We had more requests and registration that we actually could host. So we are definitely thinking of extending this format. And you were asking about the partners, and you have heard just the main prize was a sponsored flight for 2 in business class in Emirates, which has a joint program with Starwood Preferred Guests. And these are obviously well-received prizes for a tournament like that. So we keep obviously those partnerships.
For Roger Yates, the golf club manager in Le Méridien Ibom Hotel, the course is one of the most challenging in the world, and noted that the players had a great experience playing against it.
I would say that it's an international class golf course. By that I mean that it could be placed anywhere in the world and it would be recognised as an extremely good golf course. And it would be one that certainly could hold professional events without any difficulty whatsoever. And for anybody that's a member here at the Ibom Club, it is something that they really value very much being a member because it is such a good golf course in extremely good condition for a large part of the year.
The overall winner, Kalio Isiboye, and the ladies' champion, Susan Kolkotas, commended Starwood Hotels for organizing the tournament and urged other multinational organizations to emulate Starwood in giving back to the society and customers. Communications manager of Starwood Hotels, Nanji Time, described the tournament as exceeding the expectations of the organizers, noting that the quality of the course, the had given them a reason to look forward to a next year.
Actual golf event in the Meridian Golf Hotel and Golf Resort, and I think we have achieved that. I think Starwood has set the pace for others to follow. I think we have boosted the profile of golf in Nigeria. I think the turnout was elaborate and well organized.
Invitational featured raffle draws with participants getting trips and stays at cities and 5-star hotels managed by Starwood. For the next year is one of greater expectations as there may be plans to open in the dry season. The SPG Golf Invitational is born out of the family to reward its customers' loyalty as qualification depends on the garnered in the course of any of its facility worldwide. Justice Udo.
Salaries of some workers in some states across the Federation still remain unpaid for several months. Governors of the 36 states have met under the aegis of the Nigerian Governors Forum to consider a proposal for President Muhammadu Buhari's intervention. This and more on Channel 45 National and Foreign News segment with Mercy Ekara.
Governors of the 36 states of the Federation have held a meeting in Abuja to propose a bailout scheme for states that have not been able to pay workers' salaries for months. At least 23 governors, including Governor Odom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State, were present at the meeting, which was chaired by the new chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State. Revenue sharing, an update on the Federation Account Allocation Committee, excess crude accounts, and the bailout proposal were among issues that were discussed at the meeting. Meanwhile, Governor Olusegun Mimiko of Ondo State had on Tuesday emerged chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, taking over from Chief Godswill Akpabio, who is now a senator. The League of Imams and Alphas in Nigeria and that of Arab countries, including Saudi Arabia, have announced that the Muslim fast for the holy month of Ramadan will hopefully be on Thursday, June 17th, should the new moon be. Ramadan is observed by Muslims with fasting and charity. The fasting lasts to sunset. Ramadan, new moon is in, and it's holiday Eid is observed at the end of Ramadan. The United Kingdom's first anti-slavery commissioner, Mr. Hyland, has concern over 100 Nigerians that are being killed for prostitution or forced labor, and as office is committed to modern slavery. The latest from the National Crime Agency shows that more than 2,000 trafficking victims that were referred to the authorities in 2014, 240 were from Nigeria, albeit the highest of potential victims. The Anti-Slavery Commissioner is calling for further prosecutions and for more victims to be identified. He also explained that his office is working with Europol, Interpol, National Crime Agency, as well as the Nigerian National Agency for the Prevention of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, so as to identify potential victims and also disrupt the movement of any modern slavery network. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has announced that Moscow is beefing up its nuclear arsenal. This comes as a response to United States moves to position heavy weapons in NATO states along Russia's border. There has been a Cold War between the US and Russia over the Ukraine crisis, in which Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula in early 2014. US Secretary of State John Kerry has warned that the implications of Putin's stance is serious. In Georgia, United States, a man has been killed by a tiger that escaped from a flooded zoo. The tiger was one of the several animals that fled the zoo over the weekend after the city suffered severe flooding. Hundreds of animals were drowned to death. Residents were urged to stay indoors to avoid contact with some animals that were seen roaming the streets.
The death has been announced of Elder Anthony Raphael Edet of Noah Pakwan in Ikoro-Supong, Ibiono local government area. He was aged 70 and a retired permanent secretary in the State Civil Service. A family statement endorsed by the son, Odudu Anthony Edet, indicates that the service of song in the deceased's honor is billed for Friday 19 June 2015 at the deceased compound in Ikoro-Supong, Ibiono at 7 in the evening. According to the statement, the late Elder Anthony Raphael Edet will be buried on Saturday 20th June 2015 after a funeral service to be conducted by the Redeemed Christian Church of God at St. Peter's Primary School grounds, Kilometer 7, Uyiko-Rikpene Road, Royal Carriage Way at 10 o'clock in the morning. The late Elder Anthony Raphael Edet is survived by wife Carol Edet, a retired director of programs with the KBC, 6 children, and a host of relations. Late Anthony Edet was educated at the John F. Kennedy College, Nebraska, and the University of Mississippi, both in the USA, where he obtained bachelor's and master's degree in political science and public administration, as well as international relations. The funeral of a frontline fish merchant in Idoasang Beach Market, Oron Town, Deaconess Ikwedet Awan, will hold Friday 19 June 2015 at AME Zion Primary School grounds, Idoasang, Oron local government area. Family statement endorsed by the village head of Obotong Ewang in Mbo local government area, Chief Anthony Awana, also known as Itamaskosa, indicates that the African Methodist Episcopal AME Zion Church Oron District Idoasang will officiate at the funeral. According to the statement, a service of songs will hold on Thursday 18 June 2015 by 7 o'clock in the evening at the AME Zion Church, Idwasan, Oron Town. Late Deaconess Ekwede Awana of Akambuk, Awana Royal Lineage, Eyo Atayo, Oboton, A1 in Mbo local government area, is survived by children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, in-laws, and other relations. The statement invites AME Zion Church faithful across the state, Irasan Beach Market women groups, A1 indigenous and sympathizers to grace the funeral to accord the late Deaconess Ekwede Awana a befitting burial. You can also watch our news online by logging on to akbconline.org and follow us on Twitter at AKBC45, on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. That's the package this morning, but just before we're going to look at the major stories. 22 persons have been nominated by the state governor, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, for position in the new executive council and sent to the House of Assembly for confirmation. Of the 22, 20 are for the position of commissioner, while 2 will be special advisors. That's the package this morning. We thank you so much for spending your time with us. Have a pleasant day ahead. Good morning.
For the best of entertainment, incisive news, captivating and illuminating programs, the latest in politics, in-depth analysis of events, sports, and much more, keep watching AKBC Channel 45.